Maddie, hello. I can't tell you what it means to me to have this series come back. Are you as excited as what we fans are? Because it's just electric at the moment. March 13th can't come around quick enough.
Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, I mean we're super excited about this series. It really feels like we found our this season, sorry, it really feels like we found our footing. The world is forever expanding and we're seeing a lot of new interpretations of magic and elements to magic in this world. So not only is it, I think, our strongest season in terms of, characters and, certain storylines, but I think also it's like visually breathtaking this
Mm.
season. Mm.
I've got to say, like at the end of the last season, there were so many moments where I was just screaming at my TV for Egwene. Like honestly, when she went up against Renna, when she went up against Ishmael, like I was like, "Come on, girl!" Like you know what I mean? Like I'm like, I imagine this is what sport is like. I'm like,
It's like
but
watching Drag Race. No.
oh my God, you are a girl after my heart. Exactly right. I know that you thanked Rami Park for episode 6, and I do
Mm.
remember watching episode 6 and just being like, God, what an epic performance you gave. And you described it as being like a script that an actor dreams of.
Mm.
I do feel like there are a lot of, and I imagine this is how the books were created, is that this show is reflecting a lot of what we're seeing in the real world. Not exactly, but in a kind of like twisted, alternate kind of way. As someone who is out there as, an Aboriginal woman, where, there are young people looking at you being this superstar that you are and doing such an incredible job in this show. It must just go to a special place in your heart to know that you're able to continue this, I guess, responsibility of storytelling, right?
Yeah, no, that was so wonderfully put. Like, we do have a responsibility to tell this story properly and to honor these characters. This is a series and characters that are very loved and people hold so closely to their heart. Certainly, Robert Jordan was ahead of his time when he wrote the series, and I think like what we do in this show is reflect the way the world is. The world is beautiful and different and colorful and rich in culture and it's all well and good to have, I think, like diverse stories, but those stories need to have inclusivity.
Yep.
And I think that's what we try and honor in this show is there everyone can feel included and there are characters or stories that people really resonate with. And I think that's something that has been so touching, even having other cast members come on and go like, I didn't see characters that looked like us
Yes.
on our screens, or our voices weren't necessarily being heard, or we weren't celebrated in the way that we are. It only just furthers the want to continue to tell this story,
Mm.
continue to have real representation that is meaningful as well.
And I think it's just so beautifully done, and it really comes down to your credit. Even like the queerness in the show, it's just not a big deal. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it just is, and I just love that about watching it. I like to ask this question of now. This show has some incredible special effects. I mean, I was expecting the first episode to ease me into it, but mind blown. Like it was incredible. And I love the big stuff, but I would love to know from you, what's a small thing from the set that when you were there and you saw something, because people have been picking apart this show looking for Easter eggs and they often find them
Mm.
coming down to the colors that the characters wear and where they're headed and stuff like that. Was there a small thing about creating season 3 that you particularly loved or want people to see?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, something that really like informs the way I feel like I'm a Gwen again, or I'm a new version of her, which she loves to constantly evolve and adapt and
Yeah.
reinvent herself, is like the hair and makeup and costume that really helps inform how we move, how we stand, the way we carry ourselves. I know, like, when I got my like costume at the beginning of the season, that felt very like military, very strong, very guarded. And then, when we go to the Aiel waist, that was a real reflection of where Egwene is at personally, and
Yeah.
where her abilities are at. So for me, I always just relish the moment that, you get a fantastic costume, which is always with Sharon Gillam, who's our incredible head of department. But I think, sorry, my favorite one that I had was probably the golden armor, which we saw in some like photos, like a little sneak peek. And I
Yes.
think in the trailer, that was my favorite.
So it kind of is like drag, isn't it?
Yeah, totally.
You're
Just
like,
wig
what's
off,
it?
another wig underneath, wig
Yeah.
off, another wig underneath. Yeah.
Oh my God, if we get a reveal in this season, I'm gonna die. Um, Rosamund Pike has said that season three is the best offering yet, and I can't tell you how great it is to hear that from someone who is so heavily involved in the show. What parts of your character do you really look forward to us seeing? Is it her growth as a person? Is it that sense of duty that she has? Is it her relationships? Like, what elements of this season are you most looking forward to us seeing in season three?
I can agree with Rosman in saying it's our biggest and best season that we've had yet. Something that I'm really excited for audiences to see is the way Egwene leans into her like path to self-recovery and healing
Hmm.
that she she goes on with the help of the wise ones, and I think her past trauma is manifesting itself in her dreams, and that is something that she will have to face in the dream world. I think the way that we've been able to translate the dream world from the books onto
Yeah.
screen has been really fantastic, and it was magical to step into. So all of the elements of the Isle Waste in the dream world, I'm really excited for fans to see, because that's such a major part in the books.
Huge. Listen, we are so incredibly proud of you. You are out there doing an amazing job, and I can't wait for everyone to watch this show. Maddie, I really appreciate your time today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.